Okay, look. Here's the thing. It's 2019. Like, I'm not a big resolution guy, but like something that like I've been really remiss about. We've been, as we've gone on, we love doing this podcast. It's amazing. We've concretized it. We've corporated it, whatever. We're trying to make it like a self-sufficient, like little biodome of like podcastery. Everybody that works on it, hopefully is getting paid to work on it. Part of that was like coming up with paperwork and signing contracts. It was an arduous process. It takes the joy out of everything. Of course, you can't just like do something for fun and someone's going to end up getting fucked over. We've been trying for years now. Like we're like, oh, it's a business. It's Harmontown Incorporated, and give this to that person, give that to that person. Along the way, I think one of the funnier things is like one of our silent partners, Kevin Day, who runs the ins and outs of like, pumping the show out. He's like I don't want to make him a target, but he's pretty Bitcoin rich. He's like kind of like he doesn't really need the bottom line was like at a certain point during the incorporation of the podcast, he's sort of like, yeah, I have a problem. I need some of the money to go away. Like, and we came up with this thing. Kevin, can you come up? Can you come up and talk about our thing?
Kevin Day, everybody. Talk about how to give your money away.
So we had talked about like, because basically like if you were to do nothing at all, given your situation, if you're taking money from the business venture that we had to create in order to make the thing, you would get penalized. This is a common theme of capitalism.
Yes.
You need a write-off. You need a thing. And you're like, look, here's something that we can't do, both ethically and legally. We can't say to our podcast audience, if you subscribe to the podcast, some of your money will go to take care of Down syndrome.
Which many podcasts do, but is illegal.
I think, well, whether it's illegal or not, I don't actually know about the legality of it, but I do know that actually as a pseudo-capitalist, I would actually say, honestly, if you're asking someone for $5, shouldn't they have a choice as to whether or not one of their $5 goes to this or that? But like, what we came upon was like, you're going to suffer in silence unless we give some of your money away every month.
Correct.
And so we came up with this idea. It's like, let's pick a charity every month, and we can renew it at the end of every month. But let's pick something that your money goes to, because you don't need it, and you need to write it off. Let's just get it out of your hands so you don't get penalized for it.
Right. Like what I really wanted to do was like what other podcasts do was say that we were going to donate 10% of whatever to some charity. And as you brought up, that's a really bad idea because people might cancel, they don't want to subscribe.
I would like to think that there is such a thing as a Republican Harmontown fan who's like, look, I don't truck with this or that, but like, don't put me in a position where I feel like literally my money helps something that I don't believe in. If they want to listen to me say they're stupid and pay $5, like that should be their right. Yeah.
Right.
It feels like an ethical thing to me. It's where ethics and capitalism intersect. So
right.
and so I think the nice thing is that we go, look, this is if you're a right-wing person and you're like, I don't want my money going to anything. Look, trust me, your money's going to me and Jeff getting drunk and dying. I promise. Anything left over, it's going to a private citizen who's our silent partner, Kevin Day. Kevin now, who has no political affiliation, he doesn't care. What he said to me is he's willing to. We're going to find a charity every once in a while. We're going to funnel your money into that charity.
Right. I'm donating the money, but I'm letting Dan pick where it goes.
It's all going to the Proud Boys.
They just if they could read, it's not fair what's happening to them.
We try to represent the I'm joking, you fucking moron.
Now we will do it. Now we are gonna. It's too late. Now we're giving the money to the Proud Boys for real.
Where the Proud
Just
Boys
because
go.
of that.
I honestly do think, as a side argument, that that's probably the quickest way to diffuse some of these pockets of toxic dudes is that you actually just give them $1 million, because wouldn't they just? It would be Sierra Madre. They would just kill each other. Go like, I want this big of a fleshlight. No, it should be. Like they'd be like, no, it's too dark. I want it to be whiter. And they'd be like, fuck you, racist. And they just like you could give bad people $1 million, they're toast. But we're not doing that. Here's my thing that I've always been passionate about in giant air quotes because I do nothing to do anything. But like maybe this mechanism could help us. Where I said to you, prison reform. This is the thing that I'm like really like kind of like because I feel like it's like easy to not do. Like I feel awful about the fact that when somebody fucks up in life, I don't care how bad they are, I don't care how evil they are. It's not about whether you're a good person or bad person. If you end up in our system, like where we have decided as a society, this is how it works. I don't like the fact that you get locked up and then your nightmare begins, and that you're like deprived of shit that like maybe could help you. Like I don't like that you can't get D&D books in prison. I don't like that you. I don't like that we joke about, oh, well, where you're going, you're going to get raped every day. And it's like, well, that was not part of the judge's sentence. Like, just in general, I think we have like a fucked up, twisted idea of like, it's like if we're a society that's going to lock up almost all the people in the world, like that's my thing. So I told you that like 2 hours ago. I was like, look up prison reform.
Yes.
And so we may pick a charity tonight where we're like, sounds like this, all right, here's where Kevin Day's money is going. And on the Reddit, you may go, I looked them up, they're terrible, they're fake. Okay, let's find that out in real time. Right. Let's popularize the idea of charity shopping. So
I came down to two options I wanted to give you. The first is the probably more well-known and much bigger, but not exactly what you were asking for. It's called the Innocence Project.
Right.
And their job is mostly, they do it to people who basically everybody looks at and goes, there's no way this person was guilty, but they're sat with a life prison sentence. They don't, get sentences overturned. And
right.
They're very big, and they all seem to be one of the most effective charities. And they've regularly been recognized for dollars going to them does the most good.
I don't want to. Okay, thank you for. Yeah, I'm actually more invested in like how do we treat like the bad people. I want the guilty people to not have to like in addition to doing their time and serving their. So I would like it if they could like fucking learn a trade and not live in fear. But
yes,
I love the Innocence Project. Obviously, inarguably a great thing, but.
Right. So the one closer to, I think, what you're asking for is a similar project called the Sentencing Project that seems to have two goals. One is to make sure people get fair sentences because too often people are, thrown in some maximum security prison for something that was not needed. And second, one of their goals is while people are incarcerated, making sure that prisons are not more likely to produce good results and people are let out, making sure things are not cruel, making sure education is available, making sure that, job training is made available and things like that. So they sort of seem to have a two-pronged approach of make sure people's sentences are appropriate.
How do they do that in a world where it's like state to state, city to city? Like, how do they?
From the literal 5 minutes I've read about them.
That's part of the joke is that I made you do this because I'm so charitable that I'm like, this lazy.
They meet with district attorneys a lot. They have provided information to states and counties and things like that about, are you aware of the sentencing guidelines you guys have and what that produces and how this person here, because of the guidelines that exist in this jurisdiction, result in a 20-year maximum security. You never see your friends the entire time you're in jail, when other states are doing things more fairly, and here's how well this has worked, and here, So they present information to the people who make sentencing decisions to allow them some of the visibility they may not see themselves.
It's like an awareness thing almost, where they're like, hey, judge, hang 'em high.
Yes.
And hey, prosecuting attorney, hang 'em high. Like you're getting votes and you're getting promotions by this idea that you're tough on crime, but
it's not working.
Can we make you aware of the fact that it's slowly making your city, for instance, have recidivism rates that are super high?
Correct. And they've also done work too where, they've taken prisoner complaints that have gone unheard of, this policy this prison has is unfair and just mean-spirited for no good reason. And they've stepped in, they've filed lawsuits, they've helped people.
How do we penetrate that barrier where, like, once you get locked up, everybody outside is like, fuck that person. And you're like, can I get a toothbrush? And they're like, fuck you. And then someone's like, I want to beat you up because you're Dan Harmon and you've been locked up. And you're like, whoa, this isn't part of my sentence. And they're like, who cares? Like, how can we make prisons less of a nightmare so I can proceed to get locked up?
I wish I had the answer.
Yeah, I know. Okay. I in the meantime, like, yeah, I guess out of those two, the sentencing thing, like, sure. I guess if those guys have funding, they're going to be able to talk more to more bureaucrats. Let's give them a month, or let's say a month, because a week is not long enough. So, like, it's not. If you're listening to the podcast, your money isn't going anywhere. Your money's going into Harmontown's pocket, same as always. I'm only letting you know as part of the show that one of the people that takes the money from your pocket after everything's done is going to get fucked on his taxes. And so he's going to, for this month, give it to this random charity, which is called the Sentencing Project.
Yes.
And we'll maybe at the end of maybe a month from now, we'll go, here's how much money we gave them, and maybe we'll look into it. I actually honestly think, I'm not putting it on them, but I feel like the natural mechanism of the Reddit kind of mentality is someone's going to want to take this shit down, which I think could be a healthy mechanism. It's like an enzyme. Like, they'll research the organization. Let's find out, like, charities, like, let's find charities that really do great. Like, for every dollar that you give them, what are they really doing to change a human life and stuff? And let's find ones that we're fans of. And this will be the first start of the project. Like, let's not be afraid to do it wrong. Some of the that's why I don't even go down that road, is I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, I got high with a guy the other day, explained to me that Red Cross is like the fucking kleptocracy.
It's crazy.
It kind of sterilizes or paralyzes you.
Charities in America are fraught.
You're like, yeah, I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
And like, it should be the opposite of that.
Right.
It should be like your natural state should be like, yeah, whatever. You should be kind of exuding shit.
Yeah.
Like, in a post-Patreon world.
Have you gone to proudboys.com? It's very